Okay, hello folks. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. I know I haven't been streaming for a while, but I was sick for like 3 weeks, and then 1 week, and then the last week it was spring break, and I just took a lot of time off, but I'm proud to be back to making videos, more content for you guys. And to kick things off, today we are doing a Wizard101 tier list for, as you can see, all of the lore spells in the game. Now, lore spells, you know them, you love them, you farm packs for them, you craft them, or you spend months, years farming Loremaster to no avail. Trust me, I've been there. I hate Loremaster. And yeah, I thought it would be fun to just rate all the lore spells and like give my own general opinion on them. And here you can see we have all the tier lists. We got S+, which is broken or god tier. Very good, but not quite there. Could be better. It's A tier, B tier, average, or situational. We have D tier, which is below average or needs a buff. And there's no C tier, but it goes directly to garbage tier, which is F tier. And yeah, and that's the introduction. Without further ado, let's begin. First up on the list, we have the ice spell, Angry Snow Pig. I don't know why it's on here 3 times, but honestly, I don't feel too good about Angry Snow Pig. Like, it's not a good spell. I don't think anyone uses it. I would honestly, like, it's not bad, but, like, it's not good. I kind of don't want to put it in F tier. Because, like, it has its use if the enemy shield stacks. Because it does 235 damage. So you basically you break the shields with your initial hit, and then you steal another shield. So this might surprise people, but I'm going to put it in B tier. This thing's very situational, but I don't see people use it much. The next one on the list is the Myth spell. I mean, let's just skip to the ice one because it's ice. Winter Moon. Honestly, I like Winter Moon. It does a fair amount of damage, 5 pips, and it stuns. This one's a tough one. I don't want to put it D tier because it's good. Like, it's pretty balanced, honestly. I'm going to put it B tier because I don't think the spell is that good if the enemy stun blocks. But yeah, I don't think I'll be putting it A tier. Because if they stun block, it's pretty bad. Alright, for ice, next up on the list, I see Handsome Fomori. Let's be real, the spell is straight up garbage. You can see it's 5 pips, 450 to 530, and a minus 25 mantle. Like, the pip cost is too expensive, and the mantle just isn't worth the pip cost. Like, I can't think of any situation where you would use that, so I'm putting it F tier. This spell's just straight up garbage. Don't use Handsome Fomori. Alright, and last one for ice, I see Reindeer Knight. This is just the ice version of Death's Deer Knight, so like, do ices even use this spell that much? I kind of want to put it A tier because I think it's a little bit better than the spells I put in B tier because it does have its use. to like break off shields and stuff when you can't blizzard. So yeah, I'm gonna stick this into A tier. I think it's pretty good, but ices generally don't use this very much. All right, I guess since we already did ice, let's do fire next. And the first one up on the list, Brim. Good old Brimstone Revenant. I like Brimstone Revenant. Has a short, simple animation. Has its use. And with fire being a trap stacking school, I think Brimstone can help fire like set up a lot of good combos. So I'll put this in S+ tier. Very good spell, just because of the trap and the really, really low pip cost. Very good combo setter. And next up on the list for fire, what do we got? All right, Hephaestus. This isn't a bad spell. Like, my fire has it. I don't think it's a bad spell. It's not D tier. I would put this in B tier, honestly. Very situational, again, like Winter Moon or Angry Snow Pig. You use this when you want to hit the enemy and get bubble control out of it. So, B tier spell. It's not good. It's not good. Like, it's not as good as Brim, but it's definitely not bad. So, yeah. And the next one for fire. Good old Krampus. All right, Krampus, this one's an easy one. I would honestly throw this in A tier. It's very good, but I think the damage on it could be a little bit higher. But, But I mean, if you upgrade it with Spellements, you already have that minus 55% mantle, so I guess I can't complain too much about the damage being where it's at. I guess the damage might use a little bit more oomph, but that's just my opinion on it. All right, and the last elemental school, let's do Storm, just to round out the elemental schools a bit more. First one for Storm, Catalan. I don't want to say this one's garbage because it's really not. It has its uses, but like it's not the best, right? I'm throwing this in D tier. This one needs a buff. And granted, 690, this is the old Catalan, but the new one isn't any better because it does the same thing as Fomori with the mantle. But let's be real, the mantle isn't really that good. So D tier. This thing needs a buff. All right, Queen Calypso. I like Queen Calypso. Just the fact that it puts a windstorm on everyone before it hits. Honestly, probably B tier. Because storms don't really trap stack all that much, but like it does have its uses here and there. If you need like the extra trap before you hit. Plus it's 4 pips, so you can spam it if you want to. But storms they don't really need it at max. I'd say this is pretty good at low levels. Not that good at high levels. And yeah, that's all the elementals. I guess now we can do balance. And first one on the list for balance, we have good old Lore. You know her, you love her, you farm her for spells. Good old Loremaster. Lore is still semi-decent. It still has its use, but it definitely has fallen out of the meta. So I kind of don't want to say it's garbage, but it's kind of garbage, let's be real. I'm putting Lore in F tier. I think the nerf kind of hurt it too much for it to be viable. Ninja Piglets. Essentially a better version of Loremaster because it hits harder. It doesn't have the mantle or the weakness, but it does hit harder. I wish this thing had a secondary effect, but that's just me. So I'm going to say balanced, average, or situational. What's this? Samurai? This spell's straight up trash, and you'll see why in a minute. The reason I put Samurai in trash tier is because of this spell right here. This spell. Savage Paw. Explain why you would use Samurai when I could use Savage Paw to hit harder and get a blade out of it. I'm going to say Savage Paw. I would honestly put it in either B tier or A tier. Because Balance Wizards don't really blade all that much. I'm going to say situational. Yeah, I'm saying situational on this one. Because you don't really blade yourself that much as a balance, I feel. All right, let's do my favorite class next, Myth. And first one on this I see for Myth is Athena Battlesite. Like, it's definitely not F. This thing has its uses because of the shield. It's either, I'd put this in either B or D tier. I think the damage on it is a little underwhelming. The shield is nice, but you don't really use this much at max. I'm going to say this needs to be 4 pips. I think 5 pips is a little too much. And with the state that Myth is in right now, I think making this 4 pips would really buff Myth more on the defensive side. Keeper of the Flame, garbage. Myth just doesn't have any synergy with traps. Because, I mean, if you want to break a shield, fine. Use King Artorias for that. And yeah, Myth just doesn't synergize that well with traps. Ninja Pigs, garbage. It's good at low level, but it falls off once you're max. You almost never use it. And that's all for the Myth spells. Alright, we're almost done. Alright, second from last, let's do Death. Deer Knight, S+ tier. If you're fortunate enough to get Deer Knight, especially as an early level, that is your wave clear. As a Death Wizard until level 48, that is your bread and butter, basically. So, S+. Headless Horseman, very, very strong single hit. So, S+. Lord of Night, garbage. Pip cost is too expensive. Damage is underwhelming. And the infection as a utility is just not that good. Like, I don't see myself using Lord of Night. And that's all I have to say for Death. Alright, and the last school is Life. First and foremost, we have Goat Monk. You all know how I feel about Goat Monk. If you've been to my streams, you know that I love Goat Monk. It's my favorite life spell. But unfortunately, it's just not good. 440, 520, it's pretty low damage. Pip cost is too high. So, garbage. And you can see a trend here that all of the ninja's lore spells, Ninja Pigs, Goat Monk, Samurai, like all of them suck, honestly. I wish Goat Monk had like a secondary effect to it to make it a little bit better, but that's just me. Like give it an absorb or something. Or a guiding light or something. This spell needs help. Pigsy. Pigsy is definitely an S+ tier. This spell is kind of trash if you're soloing, but very good if you're doing teams. Like if you're on a team, very, very good heal. So I'm putting it S+ tier. And the final spell on the tier list, Luminous Weaver. It's decent, I guess. 370, like the pip cost is balanced, the damage is good, and it puts a weakness on the tier or A tier. Because like everything about the spell is just balanced. Or maybe I could put it S tier. Let me think. Oh no, how does Samurai get way up there? It's supposed to be way down there. F tier. You know what? I'm just going to put this in A tier. I think Luminous Weaver is a really, really good lore spell for life. Actually, you know what? I could put it S tier. You know what? I'm putting it S tier because it does have its uses both in PvP and PvE. So yeah, this is the tier list. Let me know what you guys think. And I hope to see you guys around on my next stream, whenever that might be. Let me just review the tier list real fast. All right, a quick rundown of the tier list. We got S tier, Brimstone, Deer Knight, Headless, Pigsy, and Loom. A tier, we got Reindeer Knight and Krampus. B tier, which is average, Angry Snow Pig, Winter Moon, Hephaestus, Queen Calypso, Ninja Piglets, and Savage Paw. D tier, Catalan and Athena, and F tier are all these spells. Handsome Fomori, Loremaster, Ninja Pig, Samurai, Goat Monk, Keeper of the Flame, and Lord of Night. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this tier list, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of it. And I hope to see you guys around on the next stream at twitch.tv/Crimson Reaper 5. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Peace. Peace.